fabulous brand new aquarium, Clearwater Marine Aquarium here in Clearwater, Florida. You're getting the first look right here. And this is just a magnificent, beautiful aquarium. And we're going to have an awesome, awesome opportunity to see around this new aquarium over the next hour. And I'm here with my very own friends, my great friends. Justine here, all the way from Florida. Say hello to your buddies out there.
Hello.
A big hello.
Hello.
All righty. And of course, our very own Dan Strimka.
Hey guys, I hope you're ready to have a really good time. We're gonna show you around this great new place.
Let's have a lot of fun today. We are so excited here to have Gabby Kundar, who is an animal care specialist here at the aquarium. And we are visiting some amazing new dolphins that have come here recently. These are just very special dolphins. So tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, and then a little bit about these new dolphins.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Yes, I am Gabby, one of the animal care specialists here at the aquarium, and I work with our group of dolphins here. Our newest family members here at the aquarium are Rex and Rudy, so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about those boys. So looking closest to us here, we have Rex. He's checking out our new friends by the pool. And we also have Rudy, who's swimming around. But both of these boys are rough-toothed dolphins, so they are a different species than Winter and her friends. Now, for these boys, they are relatively new here to the aquarium. They actually just came to us this summer. Both of these boys were deemed non-releasable, unfortunately, due to the fact that they have significant hearing loss. So for both of these boys, they no longer have their ability to echolocate. And for a dolphin, that's something that they are heavily dependent on. So they're going to use that echolocation in order to maneuver around their environment, to hunt and to socialize, as well as evading predators. So unfortunately, both of these boys do not have that ability, and due to that, they were deemed non-releasable, and they now call Clearwater Marine Aquarium their forever home. This is Rudy that just popped up here with us to say hello. Rudy is the younger of the two dolphins. He's estimated to be about 3 years old, and then we have Rex, who's estimated to be about 6. Now, for both these guys, they are in their free time, so they are allowed to go play with whatever toys they have, which you're seeing some buoys hanging out in front of us as well. I have a really fun buoy with me here, which they tend to get really excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the microphone back over, and we'll see if the boys are ready to play.
Cool. And Justine says she really wants to play with these dolphins today. She's excited about being here with the dolphins. She wants to say, rub them down. So is this Rex that's coming up here? This is Rex. Say hi to Rex, everybody. There goes Rex, and Rudy gone up there. And Rex again. Wow, these dolphins are having a lot of fun. Look at that. Wow. So Justine, tell the kids at home what it's like to be here.
It's very exciting, and it might get a little wet.
Might get a lot wet.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys is your favorite?
I like them both, but maybe Rex is my favorite.
Oh, Rex, yeah. Rex is very, very friendly. So tell us a little bit about where do they get the name rough tooth? What's a rough tooth all about?
So the rough tooth, while you might not be able to tell just by looking in their mouth, they actually do have a texture on their teeth. So for these guys, if you were to have a tooth from them looking under a microscope, there are a lot of different ridges, which before we leave the area, we can show you guys a diagram. It's not right poolside here, but they do have several teeth within that mouth of theirs, up to about 100 of those conical shaped teeth. And for these guys, a fun fact about them is that they don't get an adult set and a baby set of teeth. They only get one set of teeth in their lifetime. Now they're having quite a bit of fun playing with all of their toys. They have a lot of fun things in their pool right now, so they have the option to play with all those different items. And Rex just brought up to the surface one of those sinking buoys. Now, these guys in general do tend to be very tactile, so seeming to enjoy those back and belly rubs from us, but they also have some tactile toys as well, which right now they seem really engaged with their tactile toys on that buoy. There's some blue felt on there, and that's actually the same stuff that is in a car wash. So we're just going to be very gentle if we're touching him.
So Benny,
Huh?
what do you think? Do you like these dolphins?
Yeah.
These are cool dolphins. And by the way, it's very cold here in Florida today. But guess what? The water that these dolphins are in is really nice. It's nice and warm in there. So I think Justine is going to jump in and warm herself up. Now, look at that, Benny. Just touch your toe. Touch your. Do you want to rub her down, Benny? No. Look. She's really. Now, there you go, Benny. There you go, Benny. There you go, Benny. Now, Benny. Isn't that cool, Benny? Very cool.
So cool.
Well, isn't that very cool? So, Dan Strimke, what does this dolphin feel like as you rub her down?
Very slippery. Very, very slippery. It's like wet rubber.
Very, very slippery, says Dan.
Like winter, really.
Yeah, just like winter. Now, these particular dolphins, these are not dolphins that you would see close to the coast. These are kind of dolphins that are way out in the ocean. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so these guys are going to be found further off the coast. They are a deeper diving species. So you guys can see that they're hanging out on the bottom of their pool right now. They do have excellent lung capacity, so they can hold their breath for quite some time. And for these guys, their natural prey is actually going to be squid. So they will feed on several different types of fish as well as that squid. So that is typically why they are found further off the coast. Now, here in the Gulf of Mexico, there's a population of about 600 that we see of those rough tooths. Just be very careful with all those teeth. Yes. So on these guys, I did mention that they are very tactile. So you can see that Rex is looking for some back and belly rubs right now. And they are super smooth on the outside of their body. They are naturally found in the water and they are very quick swimmers. So for these guys, they are actually constantly losing that outer layer of skin. And they are going to slough it off or lose it about every 2 to 3 hours. So they're always looking for a nice scratch from us or from their different toys.
Very good. Are you guys enjoying this? Ain't they just amazing dolphins? And I just see online here we have Brenly. Hello, Brenly. How are you doing? These are your favorite animals in the world. You've been telling me about dolphins as your favorite. So what a way to start this event today, having you come and visit these little dolphins. What do you think of them? Give me a big shout out. Yo, to Brenly. Cool stuff. So, what's your thoughts? Are you going to jump in and swim a little bit with them?
I might when you're not looking.
All right, are you ready to jump in?
Yes.
What do you guys think? Do you think she should jump in? I think she should jump in. So Mary Layton, where's Mary Layton and Benny? So Mary Layton, what's it like here this time around at Clearwater Marine Aquarium?
Oh, it's very nice. We'll be so excited when we can come back here in person and see everything. The new dolphin stuff. Did you like it, Benny?
So each year at this time we come to the aquarium and we have kids just like yourselves that come in from all across the United States and across the world to Camp No Limits. So we always really enjoy being here. We missed seeing you here this year. We arrived here this morning and we're walking around the aquarium. We're like, where's the kids? Where are you? Where are you? So we miss you, but we are delighted that you did get online with us today and hang out with us. This is a cool, cool day to be here. Now, look at those teeth. Get an up close shot of those teeth. Watch these teeth when she comes up. Open your mouth. She must think I'm a dentist. She doesn't want to open her mouth. There she goes. Look at that. Yeah, you have to be very cautious that we don't get a little scratch from the teeth. And what's this guy's name again? This one is? Rudy. Hello, Rudy. Rudy. Very cool. If you guys have any questions, call questions over to Mary Layton. A lot of you have Mary's cell number. Call over those questions and we'll have somebody that will answer them for you. So Dan, tell us a little bit about your first encounter with these dolphins when they arrived.
Oh God. It was actually, they became my favorite dolphins. Don't tell Winter that, guys. But these two are very, very playful, more so than the other dolphins here. But it was fun. I didn't want to leave. I just had fun playing with them. So they're always like this too. It's not they go rest for a while and they come back and they're playful. They are playful 24 hours a day. So.
And for some of you who may have joined in a little bit late, again, when these dolphins arrived in, what was going on was they weren't doing very well in the ocean, and they were evaluated and found that they had hearing loss. And as a result of their hearing loss, it's very difficult for a dolphin to go out and feed itself if they can't hear an echolocation of the fish, the food that they're eating in the ocean. They have to find it, and they find it through their hearing. So here they are. It has been established that they're going to be staying at the aquarium. And what you do notice that they are very excited. They love being here at the aquarium. They're a lot of fun. Hey, catch a look at a glimpse here of Janine. Look. Or Justine. Justine, let us see your face. What happened to you?
They got me.
Did you fall in?
No.
It looks like you fell in.
They splashed me.
Wow, you really did get splashed.
It's okay though. I forgive them.
Tell us what it's like to be here at the aquarium today.
It's very fun. I'm so glad that I got to be here and meet Rex and Ruby and get to pet their little noses.
So, we are looking forward to having you all here next year. Again, this time live at the aquarium. It's going to be a fun event again, but it's a fun place to be and a fun place to hang out. Cool stuff. Very, very good. All right, we're going to, where's Thomas, our great leader here? Is Thomas around? Thomas is coming right back out. Very, very good. So we also have a new dolphin that was living up here before these two guys came here. And that dolphin is named all the way from South Florida. Great author, named after a great author. Hemingway. And we call the dolphin Hemi. And we're going to drop by and see Hemi here in a little bit. But a very, very fun dolphin as well. A huge dolphin. The dolphin. How old is Hemi? How old is Hemi?
He's on the older side.
27. Big dolphin that we really enjoyed. There was a competition here recently when it was decided that Hemi was going to stay with us. And there were several names sent in, and we came down to 2 final names. And Hemi was picked as the name. And we love that name, Hemi. Hemingway, Ernest Hemingway, right? So, the Old Man of the Sea. There you go. The Old Man of the Sea. Good stuff. Very, very good. So where did Benny get to? Did we lose Benny? So Benny, tell us, what did you think of the dolphins? Did you like these 2 dolphins? That's exactly how they talk. Look at that. They do your dolphin impression again.
Was it fun?
Was it fun?
Jump
it was
in,
fun.
Mary, jump in.
A whole lot.
Is Alex watching? I bet you Alex is watching.
Alex is watching. And I hear we see Fernandez on there as well. Fernandez, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Good stuff all the way from Arizona. Good to have you with us. Good stuff. Very, very good. So as I had mentioned, it is a little bit on the cold side today, but we people who live here in Florida, we love to do this. We love to be out here in this cooler breeze, cooler weather. Dan really especially likes it because Dan swims every day. So what is it like to get into the pool this time of the year, Dan?
Not good. It's not bad getting in. Getting out's the problem.
Getting out is the problem. Are you still swimming every day?
Not every day.
Ah, you're chickening out. Chickening out. Very, very good. Cool stuff. All righty. So we're going to run across and see the the otters next. Going to take a quick run across the aquarium, see the otters. And as we're going that direction, you're going to have an opportunity to see parts of the aquarium. And is our care lady, is she coming with us or not?
Yeah, Gabby will come.
Gabby? Where is Gabby?
Put the dolphin.
Come on, Gabby.
Oh, yeah. We still got
Gabby? We need Gabby. We're moving too quick for Gabby. Gabby will be here in 2 seconds. I have a couple of questions from Gabby. So where did Gabby get to?
She's getting the toys out of the pool.
All righty. Okay, we come back to Gabby. So Gabby. We need Gabby. Let's hear it for Gabby at home, everybody. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Gabby. So Gabby, I have a question. For these dolphins, how long does typically the dolphins live?
So it depends on the species. For these guys, though, their average out in the natural environment is about 30 years. So they have a longer life expectancy. We're not quite sure as to why that is. There's not a whole lot of research done on these guys because there's only one other facility in the United States that has the rough-toothed dolphin. But one of the reasons that they might have a longer life expectancy is because they do live further off the coast, so a little bit less human interaction with them. But they are also smaller. They might have different prey, different amount of sharks and things like that, but they are having that longer life expectancy than the bottlenose. For the bottlenose, they have an average of around 13 to 14 years.
Really?
So it depends on the species, where they're found, different environmental impacts as well. Yeah.
And to the likes of our friend, the famous dolphin here, Winter the dolphin.
Yes.
Like, you know, how long will the dolphin like Winter live at an aquarium?
So under human care, the average goes up to about 25 for bottlenose. They absolutely can live longer than that. The oldest under human care was about 61. So they can definitely live for quite a long time. Winter does have several things about her body that are challenges for her, but we definitely hope for the best. She's already 15, so she has made it past that average life expectancy, and we just hope for several more good years with her. Yeah.
Well, we really enjoy working with Winter. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. An amazing dolphin. Yeah. Another question I have about dolphins: when a dolphin is born, how long would it stay with its parents?
That's a great question. So unlike us, they don't need quite as much time with their parents, but like us, we can spend several years with our parents and maybe up to 18 years before we go off and get our own job and things like that. But for a baby dolphin, they can spend between about 3 to 7 years with their mom, and they learn how to hunt, how to work with other animals and socialize, as well as evading predators and just navigating their environment. Unfortunately, those aren't things that we can teach to a dolphin, so they do need their mom in those scenarios in order to learn all those things.
Very good. I know we have to start walking, so we'll follow you, Thomas, and I'm going to continue to ask some questions here. So a lot of these kids at home, I know they're wondering and asking themselves, how do I become an animal care specialist at one of these aquariums? So how does people become an animal care specialist?
Well, all of us do actually have a college degree or a bachelor's degree in something science related. So that can be animal science, biology, marine biology, and psychology is actually a really big one as well. So not all animal care specialists do training, but a lot of different zoos and aquariums are moving into training with their animals because it's a great way to provide the animals with stimulation throughout their day. And they also are able to voluntarily participate in their own medical management, which is really cool. But you can only learn so much from a book. So for these animals, we do require about 2 to 3 internships before getting into the field. And I personally did my degree in zoology as well as psychology. And then I did an internship with birds and then came down here to do an internship. So lots of different things you guys can do.
I'm just going to stop here for a second. We have a little special treat here. You'll notice on the wall, this is the Hall of Fame here, where they have superstars, people like Morgan Freeman on the wall. But you think about being superstar. Here we have Fernande, our very own Fernande. You didn't know that. We had you forever pasted to the wall here at Clearwater Marine Aquarium. So this is where we hold our Camp No Limits every year for Florida. And you notice that we really do celebrate having you amongst us. So thank you so much for coming with us again here although it's a virtual event, you're here with us. We're very excited to have you. But in any case, a big shout out to Fernande. Hey, Fernande, that's twice you got mentioned today. Very cool. Good stuff. So you're talking about, as an animal care provider, with a lot of the dolphins that come in here, obviously this is a facility that takes care of injured sea life. Dolphins that got sick and had to come in for treatment. And part of the training, like when I go to rehabilitation, so when you as a person utilizing maybe a prosthetic device, you have to train and learn how to use it. So the same way with these dolphins and these injured sea life, they have to be educated. So how do you educate a dolphin and how to maybe feed again a dolphin that hasn't been eaten? How do you educate them in that stuff?
So a couple different tactics that we can use for an animal that is intended to go back out into the natural environment. We want to keep it as hands off as possible for humans. So for those animals, we want them to have their own natural survival instincts. And for most of them, they have had several months or years out in the natural environment, and they can rely back on those natural instincts once they're feeling better. But for an animal that is deemed non-releasable, like Winter, she had to actually be bottle fed and then weaned onto fish from us. So she never learned that natural survival skill of how to hunt for her own food. And if an animal is deemed non-releasable, that's when we use the training to teach them all sorts of new things. So like for Winter specifically, how to wear that prosthetic tail. We didn't just throw it on her and say, swim around and be Merry and Bright swimming around with that prosthetic tail. That would be quite a high expectation from us, and it would probably be a little bit scary at first. So we actually slowly introduced it into her life, just bringing it close to the pool with her, and then eventually asking her to allow us to put that on her body. And then we slowly kind of showed her how to appropriately wear that prosthetic tail. So with our training, there's a lot of things that we can do, and there are really no limits to what we can do with them. They are very smart animals, whether that be a dolphin, or we even do training with our pelicans as well. But speaking of other animals, we also have our otters. So let's head over and check out these guys. Now, these guys actually just had their second lunch, so they might be taking a little snooze on us. And I do see a little otter tail. It might be a little bit hard to find, but right up on top of the waterfall, we have right over here, Boomer is most likely sleeping up there. That is one of his favorite spots. And it looks like Wally might be taking a snooze as well. But while we are checking out the habitat here, I'll tell you a little bit more about these animals' rescue stories and why they were deemed non-releasable animals. Let's head on to this side to see if we can find a Wally. Now, for both of these boys, they are a relatively new pairing here at the aquarium as well. Oh, I do see a sleeping Wally. He's a little brown circle down there in one of his beds. So he's a little bit tough to see, but he's right inside that little circle down there, snuggled up in some blankets. Now, for Wally, he actually has a really cool rescue story. Now, there was a local man that found Wally when he was just a young abandoned otter kit, so just a tiny baby otter, and he was not by his mom. So he thought he was doing the safe and appropriate thing for Wally and took him in and fed him by hand and was trying to raise him as a pet. But for these guys, they might be nice and snuggly and cute when they are young, but unfortunately, as they start to reach their sexual maturity, they do not make good pets. So for Wally, he was raised by that man for about a year and a half, and at that point, he started to have his natural behaviors. Now, natural behaviors for an otter are, of course, sleeping like you're seeing right now, but they are also very territorial, and they like to tear things up. So he started tearing that man's home up. And for these guys, they are actually related to skunks, so they can be a very stinky animal in the house as well. And at that point, he attempted to release Wally back out into the natural environment because he wasn't making a very good pet anymore. But since Wally was raised by that man, he had no idea how to hunt for his own food and how to socialize or anything like that. So Wally just kept on coming back because he didn't have the necessary survival skills. Now, at that point, that man reached out to us here at the aquarium, and we were able to provide Wally with a forever home here with us. And he is now 10 years old. And we did want to make sure that he did have a social companion. So that is where Boomer comes in. And while they might be hanging out separate in their own beds right now, they are actually very friendly and they like to play together all day long. They are having a really good play session right before this because they are both zonked out taking their naps.
So there is a question.
Yeah.
The question is, are otters, are the babies, what are they called? Are they called babies, or are they called pups, or what do you call them?
So they are called kits. And an otter kit is a name for an otter baby. Yeah.
There you go. That was a great question. Whoever asked that question, they're called what again?
An otter kit. So K-I-T.
Cool. We want to run over and look at the turtles over here.
Absolutely, we can.
Talk a little bit about the turtles. So personally, I am I favor the turtles. I like the turtles a lot. And living here in Florida, all around our coast, there's lots and lots of turtles. And turtles live a long time. How long do turtles live?
So these guys are reptiles, and they can actually live for several hundred years. Actually, for these.
Hold on there. I think she said 100 years. Hold on, I clean my ears out. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I know you made a mistake there. How long do they live?
So I don't know the exact number, but we do have turtles that are found to live over 100 years. So they have quite a life expectancy on them.
Wow, over 100 years. By God.
Yeah, they are a really cool animal. And another fun fact about these guys is that they can actually hold their breath for several hours as well. So they come up for a breath and they actually go and sleep underneath the water, and they can hold it for a couple hours while they take a nap.
Now, how long can you hold your breath?
Oh gosh, maybe a minute.
A minute.
That's about as long as I can go though.
And Mary Layton, how long can you hold your breath?
Probably like 15 seconds.
15 seconds. But if you are an animal care provider at an aquarium, you have to be able to hold your breath for at least a minute. Right?
Yeah, so we actually have a lot of swim testing and water skills that we have to work on to work with these animals. For my department, I don't work with the turtles, but when we are with the dolphins, we do have to have a scuba certification. So the ability to wear scuba gear and to breathe from an oxygen tank underneath the surface of the water. And then we do also have several swim skills that we need to have. So being able to hold our breath on our own without that oxygen tank, being able to swim down to the bottom of the pools and retrieve weights and things like that. So a lot of different swim skills.
Okay,
Now, speaking of them holding their breath for a really long time so they can nap, we do have one of our turtles taking a nap currently down on the bottom of the pool. We have swimming around at the top of the pool is our friend Coco, but we either have Rob or Max hanging out on the bottom of the pool taking one of those naps.
Now, you might ask, why do these beautiful turtles, why do they wind up living here at Clearwater Marine Aquarium? Part of it is us as people. We're out in our boats, cruising along in the ocean and not really paying attention to what's in front of us. And oftentimes these turtles are hit by propellers and wind up having injuries to their shell. So when you're out with your friends, be careful of what you're doing to the beautiful oceans that are out there, but especially watching for these critters. I personally have seen some of these guys that have lost their flippers and actually have fit some of these turtles with little prosthetic flippers, and they do very, very well. You can actually go online and just put my name in, Kevin Carroll Turtle, and you will see these prosthetics on there. But realistically, it's all about prevention and trying not to have stuff happen. Um, Also, sometimes they're attacked by a shark and they'll lose a flipper. Um, it's not the end of the world for them, but obviously we'd like to see them up moving around gracefully with as many little appendages as they possibly can have on themselves. But realistically, it's very, very critical to look after the environment and especially at the ocean when they're little babies, leave them alone and stay away from their nest. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
For the sea turtle nest, yes, absolutely. So for these guys, they're a little bit different than the dolphin calf. Like I mentioned, a dolphin calf will spend several years with mom, but for a nesting sea turtle, mom will crawl up on the beach and lay her eggs, and that is all that she has to do with those turtles. So she will lay her eggs and then go back out into the ocean, and those little baby turtles need to fend for themselves. Now they are going to incubate for several days underneath the sand, but then once they hatch, they make their way out into the ocean, and they have a lot of predators, unfortunately. So something that we can do to help protecting them is making sure that we are not obstructing any path from their nest into the ocean. And then if you come across any baby sea turtles, they are actually protected. So don't try and touch them or interact with them. Make sure to call your local rescue facility, and they will help that baby turtle get where it needs to get to in the ocean.
All righty, cool. And I've been just looking at the wall of fame here again, Winter's Gallery of Hope. Take a quick look here. Here we have Rio. Look at Rio. Rio is on here. Hi, Rio. Look, cool. Good for you, Rio. You're on the Hall of Fame here. Wonderful stuff. All righty. Now, where are the birds hanging out? The birds. The birds. All righty. We keep on going here. So, as you can see, we're not the only people at the aquarium here today. There's a lot of people here. But you're getting your own very, very special tour. And we're going to go and see the birds, the very famous birds. And any of you has watched the movie Dolphin Tale 1, Dolphin Tale 2, you'll have seen these birds, especially Rufus, a very famous bird in the movie. And this is a little spot that these birds like to hang out. And again, oftentimes here in Florida, these birds, very exotic birds, will get injured. And we'll take them to a place like this or other bird sanctuaries to have them rehabilitated. Oftentimes, we will actually fit them with little braces. And Dan and I have done some prosthetic legs for birds. So Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about how to build a prosthetic leg for a bird?
It's actually harder than making a prosthetic tail for a bird or for a dolphin. The legs are very, very hot. Like our temperature is probably 98 degrees. The bird's legs get up to about 140 degrees in temperature. So we ended up having to come up with kind of some solutions. But we end up with a real simple one. Was using like PVC pipe like you have in plumbing. So, but that's about it. They did really good. We worked with Sandhill cranes. I never made one for a pelican before, but the Sandhill cranes were definitely fun to work with.
So again, you know, these birds that get injured, typically they're injured not by other birds, but most often by people driving a car out in a golf course where a bird will get hit by a ball or something. But we can bring them in and we can rehabilitate them. Again, living here in Florida, both Dan and I, we do get to work with some very interesting birds, very exotic birds here. So if you find an injured bird, make sure you give Dan a call. He's the specialist when it comes to birds. But pretty much it is very, very critical. As you grow older and you're driving your cars and doing different things, driving boats, that you are aware of the importance of taking care of these little critters. We're going to keep on moving. We're heading down because a little bit on the noisy spot up here. But as we keep on coming, Ginny, tell us a little bit, what do you think so far?
This is awesome. I don't want to leave.
You don't want to leave?
No.
What do you tell the kids at home?
What?
What are you telling the kids at home? What do you tell them? You're going to have them all come back here next year?
Yes, come back next year and see everything in person.
1,600 pounds, and that is quite a large turtle. If you could
We'll just get through the noisy spot here.
Their primary diet is jellyfish, and they can actually eat their weight in jellyfish every day. So 1,600 pounds of jellyfish every day. You don't probably see them a lot because they're on the east coast of Florida, but they dive down into the water. So when they're here, kind of really see them a lot.
So this aquarium has grown considerably from the first time we came here 15 years ago. So it's right at about 15 years ago that Dan and I came down here to start working with Winter, fitting her with her prosthetic tail. And it was a very tiny little aquarium with little small tanks. And as a result of a lot of interest from people around the country and around the world, this aquarium has grown considerably over the years. It has been a lot of fun coming and watching it grow. And I know some of you that are watching today were here when it was a little tiny aquarium. And just to look at where it is today and to see the growth that has taken place. Hello. Hi. How are you? Now look where we're at. This is just the brand new pools that was put in the last year and a half. It took quite some time to put it all together, but it was only opened here about a month ago. So tell us a little bit about your new aquarium.
Yeah, so this is an awesome new expansion for our animals here at the aquarium. Where we were just at was actually an old water treatment facility. So most of those pools, with the exception of where Rex and Rudy were at, that was made for dolphins and rehabbed animals. But where Winter used to live was actually a water treatment pool. So not exactly designed for animals, but like we were discussing and how the aquarium has gained popularity, we were able to expand our facility. So you're seeing the result of that expansion. This new complex actually has 5 pools. So all of these pools are specially designed for dolphins, and it is an awesome new home for all of our resident bottlenose dolphins. Now, currently hanging out, we have our 2 boys in this pool over here, so we can start off by checking them out. Now we have Nicholas and Hemingway in this new location over here. All 5 of these pools are interconnected. So animals do have the opportunity to move into different pools depending on which gate is open. But currently these boys just have access to this pool right now. This is Hemingway hanging out right in front of us. He's our newest male bottlenose dolphin. Now, Hemingway's story is that he was found down off of the Keys and he stranded with another dolphin. Unfortunately, that dolphin did not make it through the rehabilitation care. And Hemingway was deemed non-releasable due to some ongoing health issues as well as some significant hearing loss. And he now calls Clearwater Marine Aquarium his forever home. And he is a social companion for Nicholas. Now, it looks like Nicholas might be parading a new toy over here for us. I was telling you guys how Rex and Rudy are very tactile, and so is Nicholas. He really seems to enjoy his felt toys too. And here is Nicholas. He has been with us the longest out of all of the dolphins. For Nick, he does have some scarring on his dorsal or his backside there, and that is from some sunburn that he received during his stranding. He was with his mom during that stranding event when he was only about 6 months old. But unfortunately, mom did not make it through that stranding. She was very sick, and that left Nicholas an orphan dolphin calf at only 6 months old. So, like I've told you, these guys can spend several years with their mom, and Nicholas unfortunately did not have enough time to learn all those necessary survival skills. Now, Hemingway, you guys have seen that he's just kind of hanging out here. He's doing a logging behavior, and for him, that is totally normal. You'll also see Winter doing that logging behavior as well. He is still getting his mobility back as he is an older man. He is estimated to be about 35. So if you remember talking about the average life expectancy for these guys being around 13 years old, he has well surpassed that. So he spent quite a few months in rehabilitation care, and he's still building up his strength after that. We do see that he is very active with his friend Nicholas, but he does relax a lot of the time as well. Well, with these boys, like I mentioned, they are a social group. We also do have females in this location as well. Our female dolphins are hanging out in another pool, which we will go check them out very shortly. But I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to look a little bit closer at these guys. Nicholas is currently checking out one of Winter's prosthetic tails.
I'm a little bit disappointed here. I don't know where did Hope go? Is Hope here? Where's Hope? Hope is here. So Hope is here. I was beginning to worry about Hope. So Dan, I was worried about Hope there. It was kind of like there was no sign of Hope. But now Hope is back. Cool stuff. Very, very good. Very good. So Hope is one of our favorites. Hope came in here one night when Dan and I was actually here at the wrap party of the Dolphin Tale movie number 1. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning when the call comes that there's this little stranded dolphin, baby dolphin. So we were really honored to be there. What was it like to be here that night?
It was number one, hearing hanging out with Harry Connick's pretty cool. But when all of a sudden the big box truck backs into the aquarium, and all of a sudden Steve carries off a little baby dolphin. It was just a really special moment. And thank God she had her tail because that took a lot of stress off. But it was a really special time to be here.
And Hope brought a lot of hope to the aquarium, believe it or not. And when she came here, again, she was very, very sick, a tiny little dolphin that probably weighed maybe, 40 pounds? Tiny, tiny. So she is here today, and she is a major movie star as well. She was a major part of the movie Dolphin Tale 2. And we've got to spend a lot of time with Hope ever since. She's just a very, very playful dolphin. And we're delighted now that she also has a new home here, a very large pool to herself and her friends. Great. We have a few questions. Oh, what is the first animal Kevin Carroll made a prosthetic for? Yes. A little bird leg. And I've been doing a lot of bird legs ever since. Just recently we did a little duck in New York City that lost both of its legs to frostbite. So we fit the little bird, little duck actually, with prosthetic legs and got her up walking. Then actually we do orthotics as well, little orthotic devices. So we made some splints for some of the sandhill cranes. So Dan, you want to talk a little bit about the splinting that we've done for the birds?
That's what I did.
Oh, you did. You talked a little bit about. So Dan already beat me to the punch on the splinting for the birds. So we've done a lot of unique little prosthetics for animals. And of course, dogs. We fit a lot of dogs with little prosthetic systems. In any case, come on over and we'll see Hope. All righty. Where is Miss Gabby? Miss Gabby? All right, Gabby. Beep, 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 beep.
Sorry, I'm
all right, sorry. So what are you doing there, Gabby? It looks like you're spraying her with water.
just watering some dolphins.
Look at that.
So for these guys, water play is something that they really seem to enjoy. You can see Miss Hope here catching it in her mouth, whereas PJ likes the body massage feeling of it. Now for these dolphins, they actually don't drink any of the water that they're swimming in. This is fresh water from the hose, but they're not drinking that either. For these guys, it is just for their playtime, which we can have some of our friends come over and play with them as well. Yeah, come on over. Perfect. Miss Hope likes to catch it in her mouth, like I said, but you will see that it just runs out the side of her mouth. So these animals are tactile in different ways. Some of them like it in their mouth. Some of them like it on their body. For Winter, she's kind of a combination. She likes it sprayed in her mouth as well as down her body. She also really likes the end of her little nub sprayed too. For PJ, she really likes the whole body sensation of it.
Another question coming in from outside. How did you train Winter to use the prosthetic tail?
All right, so we have a question about Winter wearing that prosthetic and how we trained her to wear it. Now, for Winter in the movie, it showed that we just put it right on her and expected her to like it right away. Well, that didn't actually happen whatsoever. We slowly introduced it into Winter's life and paired it with reinforcing things. Now, Winter currently has one of her favorite toys, so she might not come over and play in the hose. She currently has a dolphin-sized Kong. So for anyone who has a dog at home, you might have your own Kong. But Winter has a giant one that seems to be one of her favorite toys. And she will actually bite down on it and blow bubble rings through the water. But back to Winter with that prosthetic tail. In her training sessions, we would slowly bring it next to us in the pool and have it poolside with us. And then kind of show her that there is nothing to be afraid of with it, and pairing it with some of her fishy snacks as well as relationship time with us and fun playtime. Eventually bringing that into the water with us and starting to touch her with it to eventually put it all the way on. So this process took about 6 months. It was a very long process in order to show her that we could put it on her body. And then once she started wearing it, It was then again several months until we showed her how to exercise with that prosthetic. Now, you guys see Winter moving around in her natural environment as well, where she actually swims a little bit different from our other dolphins. So for Winter, her natural movement, there she is going to be side to side, and then also utilizing her pectoral flippers. Now, that might be a new vocab word for you guys. Pectoral flippers are those ones on the chest area. Typically for a dolphin, they're used to steer while they're swimming, so they can kind of rotate them side to side to help them swim in a certain direction. But on Winter, she more so uses them like a paddle on a boat, and she will paddle herself through the water, as well as with that side to side swimming action. But when we ask her to wear that prosthetic tail, we look for her to swim up and down like a regular dolphin. So we had to teach her that. She didn't instinctively know how to swim with that prosthetic tail on. So it took a lot of teaching on our part, just like you guys going to school and learning maybe a new math problem and how to do that math problem. It's the same way that we teach these dolphins, but we don't tell them those things. We have to use our body language and kind of show them using our hands and different tools that we use in our training.
So I have a question for Dan. So Dan, can you tell us a little bit about, your first encounter with Winter the dolphin, and what was your thoughts when you met her initially?
No, the minute I met her, I loved her. I wasn't sure what we'd be able to do with her though, because I mean, she was never worked with a dolphin before, but that didn't stop us. So she was so great through the whole process. She's like working with a kid, like working with one of you guys. I mean, you do whatever we ask you. You try everything. You're easy to overcome stuff, and it was fantastic. All 15 years we've been working with her, it's been great. It's challenging, but great. She kind of understood we're trying to help her, so she made it easy on us. She could have made it harder on us, but that was it. I mean, she was one of our star patients.
Amongst you guys, you are the superstars when it comes to patients. We love every one of you. You're awesome people. Again, working with Winter the dolphin here has been a real joy for us. We love working with prosthetic users and people who, even people like Janine here. How long have we known you now?
6 years.
6 years. Oh my God. It's been 6 long years.
Yes.
But it's been 6 great years, hasn't it? Fantastic years. So working with Dan here, what's it like working? I know you've spent a lot of time in his office. What's it like hanging out with Dan as a prosthetist?
He's pretty fun. We crack jokes at each other all the time, so he's pretty fun to work with. I like him.
He's a good. I like him too. He's a good guy.
I'll keep him.
He's a good guy. So working with these dolphins, you have to be creative, and you have to come up with new ways of doing things. So in the movie, you saw where at one stage, Winter rejected her prosthetic tail. But realistically, in real life, that never happened. It really didn't. And the reason it didn't happen is because the great animal care providers here at the aquarium would never allow that to happen. So what was taking place was we would evaluate her prosthetic on her body, utilizing thermography, measuring the temperature of her skin. And we did find that there were little hot spots on her skin. So we came up with this real soft jelly material. And this jelly material is very, very sticky. It rolls up onto her body and it stays in place. But before we ever put it on our dolphin, we had to test it and make sure it wasn't going to do her any harm. So we had to find a test subject. Whoa, there she goes. I want attention. I want attention. I think that's Hemingway over there looking for attention. Hello, Hemingway. Let's hear it for Hemingway. Yay, Hemingway. All righty. So, hello, that was like hello. I miss you guys. But so, any case, so we had to have a test subject. And guess who the test subject for the jelly material was? Mr. Dan. Because Dan is a prosthetic user himself and has been since how old, Dan?
Since I was 4 years old.
4 years old. How did you lose your limb, if you don't mind me asking?
I slid under a tractor or a lawnmower, riding lawnmower, and it was kind of cool because I got to see a lot of cool things in the last 45 years. I started off with a peg leg, leather corset, straight pipe, ended up breaking a bunch of bones in that, and then they put me on a wooden leg. It was actually made of wood, Then we went to the plastics and the hydraulics and the carbons, and you got to see that and experience it the whole way up. You guys are in a good spot right now for prosthetics, so you don't have to deal with all that. But it's kind of fun thinking what it's going to be like in 20 more years or 10 more years. You never know.
Tell us about the gel.
Yeah, the gel is an instant game changer. I mean, I was always active. You know, I'd go to Disney and walk around all day or play 36 holes of golf, but I would pay for it the next day or that night. But wearing this right away, I mean, I could go ahead and do that and not pay for it the next day. So just the comfort level and the protection on my skin was fantastic.
Very, very good. So these dolphins are absolutely amazing. We have one of Winter's prosthetic tails here. You want to talk a little bit about Winter's prosthetic tail, Dan? Yeah, Winter's tired of seeing you. She sees you every day. There you go. So Dan, this is a very specialized prosthetic device, very unique prosthetic device. This is not something that we can go and call up a supplier and order a prosthetic tail. These have to be handcrafted and designed and developed that are going to be very, very dynamic for the dolphin. So Dan, tell us a little bit about what you have in your hand here.
Yeah, so the tail is basically three parts. And at first, we're really just concentrating on the part that goes on her body, which we call the socket. It's like the socket you put on your leg. And then we see how she did. She really did well on that and didn't mind wearing it. So we're like, what the heck? Let's add the fluke part so she could actually start getting some exercise. She did great with that. And then we decided to go for a better mechanical advantage with this carbon fiber joint. And this is 15 years of, design improvements and stuff like that. But all in all, it's pretty cool. It came out pretty cool, and she does really well with it. It didn't really have any huge problems with failures or her kicking it off. She did kick it off once when we were in the quiet aquarium. We had a new tank. And there's metal grates around on the ground. Someone jumped down and hit the metal grate, and she kicked it off on herself. She went and got it, brought it back to us. We're like, cool, she can take it off if she doesn't like it. This is a good thing to learn. But they gave her a fish, so for bringing it back. So of course, the next time we put it on her, she goes off, flicks it off right away, and brings it back for another fish. So that was not fun. Yeah.
So Dan, talk about the therapeutic aspect of the tail. What it does for her body.
Yeah, it's just like so. Winter, as a result of losing the tail, the fluke basically, and the peduncle, the joint, her muscles were getting atrophied, or what we call, you don't use them, you use it or lose it. She was losing it, she wasn't using it. And what this ended up doing, she was able to start doing good range of motion like she normally does. So it built up those muscles or slowed it down from getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So all in all, she's done way better than expected over a 15-year period.
So Dan, there's somebody shouting out to you right now from across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way across the Atlantic.
Is that Kira?
That is Kira. Kira, how are you, Kira? We have somebody else here too. Mary, do you want to wave hi to Kira? Mary, wave hi to Kira real
how
quick.
You doing, honey? Hey, Phil and Karen. I hope you're all doing well.
Mary Layton, come on over and say hi to Kira.
Oisin, better be behaving.
Oisin is behaving. All the way from Ireland, right? I have to say hi to my Irish friends over there. Yes. Thank you for joining in from such a long distance. No, I know it's getting late over there, but in any case, I'm sure it's cold over there tonight. I've been talking about the cool weather we're having in Florida. When we say cool weather, it's like a sunny summer's day for you guys in Ireland. But in any case, there you go. And we have a gentleman from France, Beckner. Thank you for joining us from France. So this is definitely an international event today. So we're excited to have you all on. Good stuff. Very, very good. So we're covering the entire universe. Cool stuff. So Dan, what advice do you have for these kids, as young kids and maybe even some young adults on here? You a person that grew up pretty much your entire life utilizing prosthetics.
Just don't let anybody ever tell you can't do anything. Just go ahead and do it. If you can't do it with what you got, figure a way to get what you need, because it's out there. I mean, really, don't accept any limitations on yourself, or you'll be so happy you didn't. But I'm serious. I mean, we have people that are running marathons, people that are high jumps. I mean, Olympic athletes. We have scuba divers. We have sailors. We have whatever you want to do, you can do. It's just don't let anything stop you. And you can see by this. I mean, anything is possible. So it'll work. There's Winter right there. I don't know if you see her. I think it's good.
Sometimes I get to water flowers, but I prefer to come down here and water the dolphins.
We don't want her growing any more than she does. Don't make her grow, because I have to make her new tail.
All right, guys, it's Gabby again. I wanted to thank you for joining us today and learning a little bit more about our animals here, and especially Winter and her rescue story and how this team has impacted her life and absolutely helped her and improved her life with that prosthetic tail. We've got our 3 female dolphins here. Miss Hope is the most interactive in our water play here. We'll see if she'll wave a cute goodbye here to you guys. Oh, she says, thank you so much for hanging out here with us today. I have time for any last minute questions if you guys have any for me. Again, I do want to thank you guys for taking the afternoon to spend it with us here at the aquarium, learning more about our resident animals. It was an absolute pleasure to spend the hour with you guys. You guys all have an amazing inspirational story, so I'm glad that I got to share the inspirational stories of our animals with you, and I'm so blessed to work at this facility with all these amazing animals. But I'm going to turn it back over to our friends, and if you guys have any last minute questions for them or for myself, feel free to ask at this point. But again, thank you guys.
I tell you, we cannot wait till you guys are back here live, because there's nothing like it. It's my favorite day of the year when Camp No Limits is at the aquarium, and everybody here says the same thing. So we cannot wait to have you back, and look forward to seeing you next year.
All righty. So we were supposed to, newsflash, right? We were supposed to end at 2 o'clock, but because you guys have sent so many questions in, along with so many people reaching out wanting to see other parts of the aquarium, we're going to stay for another few minutes. Is that okay, Mr. Cameraman? Okay. And where's Thomas? Where's Mr. Thomas? Yes, he gives us a thumb up, so we're good to go. So we're going to actually go downstairs and see a few other little things real quick. Cool stuff. So as we're moving, let's everybody from Camp No Limits give a big wave. So if you want to take a very, very quick little break, but it has to be very quick because we're going to be right back with you in a couple of minutes. But we're going to stay live, though. We're going to stay live and even chat a little bit while we're going to the next location. So thank you. Was it fun seeing the dolphins? Yay! At home. Yay! Hey, you guys in Ireland, I can't hear you. Yay! Cool stuff. You guys in France, come on. Yay! Okay, cool stuff. All righty. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay, where are we going? How are we getting downstairs?
I have a question.
Then you have to type it in.
Yeah, if you type it in the chat, I'll try to get it to them and hopefully it will get answered.
They're just amazing, the work that has taken place here. We're going to go downstairs and show you the huge big tank. It's very, very impressive. And actually, to think about the construction and how to build a place like this. And also the amount of water that's in here. And the huge big tanks that's contained in that water. So I'm going to have to ask somebody how many gallons of water is behind that wall. How many gallons of water do you know? How many? 1.5 million gallons of water. Did he use a little faucet to get it in here, or did he have to have the fire department to get that water in? How did he do that?
We were able to pull it from Clearwater Bay. We pumped that water straight from the bay into here, and then we purified it. We filtered it through. Yeah, so this every 90 minutes.
1.5 million. So look at this row. The question I have, maybe an inch thick? I don't know. I think probably 2 inches thick, right? Maybe. So these are just beautiful dolphins as you watch them swim right there. You really love this place. Love it. Cool stuff. So how long did it take to get that water into the pools? 3 days of pumping the water in. Wow. By golly. That's amazing. Very, very good. Sorry. So what we're doing at the minute, we're walking around the pool. And as you can see, it's a long walk. And these tanks that we're looking into right now are the smaller tanks. Very cool stuff. Now, where's the huge big one? The whole way around the other side? The big glass? And as you can see, just looking out there, the boats, this is a beautiful place to come and visit. I'm very lucky to have an excuse to come down here nearly every other week. My colleague Dan, he gets to come down here nearly every other day. So it's a good place to come. And look at these dolphins again. It's not until you see them from here that you see how big they really are. Is this Hemingway here on the left? Yeah, so this is Hemingway. And this is who you heard flapping a few minutes ago, that really loud noise that he's able to do. So when he wants your attention, guess what? He's going to get your attention, all right? And you notice the difference in size between Hemingway and the rough-toothed dolphins that you saw, like the Rex upstairs. Big, big difference in size. So what I'm trying to find here is the big wall that you get to look in, wall of glass. And it is very, very impressive. But as you can see, we've been walking around here now quite some time, and we still haven't got to the other side of this pool. But here it is. Here it is. And look at where Dan is. Dan is taking a little break. So I have a trivia question for Mr. Dan Strimka. So Dan, and by the way, look at this wall. Look at the size of this wall. See how big this wall of glass is. This is huge. So I think it's probably about, there you go. I think the thickness though, the thickness of this glass is probably about, I'd say maybe 1.5 inches. So Dan, what do you think the thickness is?
Probably 1.5 feet.
1.5 feet? No way.
Look how much water is over there trying to get out. And it's not letting it. This is probably 40 feet, 50 feet by 20 feet. I mean, that's just, and there's how many gallons?
1.5 million gallons, 1.5 million gallons. So Dan thinks I'm really smart now that I know how many millions of gallons is in there.
Let's go show you this thing over here.
Okay, so you're saying how thick it is? A foot thick, like that much thick? No way. No. Like a bigger foot, like your foot?
Yes.
No, come over here. So you're saying that this water is held back by something that thick?
Yes.
No way. What do you guys at home think? Like 1 inch thick, 1 inch thick, 2 inches thick? I don't know. We're just going to have to find out. All right. We'll ask, where's the boss lady? Come on over here, boss lady. So we have to figure out how thick this is. I hear you have a sample somewhere. Where's the sample? Oh my golly. Look at this. So let me see, was Dan right? There's the front, there's the back. Wow, Dan, you were right. He's very clever, that fella. So look at the thickness of the glass that's holding back all of that water. Unbelievable. Wow. Well, that's another question. How much does that thing weigh? And, wow. So look at all of this knowledge. So Dan, tell us a little bit about this.
We're just looking at how heavy it is. It weighs the same as one dinosaur, T-Rex, one cruise ship anchor, and one elephant. That is insane.
That's very heavy right there. Very heavy. But then the question is, how did it get here? Or where did it come from? Where did it come from? I believe it came from Colorado. Colorado? Was it Colorado, Dan? The whole way, Colorado. The whole way across the country. Amazing, amazing. That's a big, big truck that it takes to get that here. But in any case, that's the aquarium. Where's our friend Mary Layton with the questions? Did we lose Mary Layton with the questions? Any more questions, Mary Layton? Any new questions? No more questions? All righty. I think we're good. Are we good? So listen, everybody. Thank you so much, Mary Layton. You're going to see them again later on this afternoon.
Yes, in a few minutes for our wrap up. We'll begin our wrap up in a moment.
Cool stuff. So camera limits. Everybody from camera limits here again, real quick. Camera limits people. Camera limits people. And Thomas, come on in here. All right, come on, everybody. Hold on a bit. Come on. You're all too sharp. Hold up.
Hey, guys. So I guess this is the goodbye shot. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate it. All right, now we got the boss man back. Thanks, guys.
So these guys here do so much for us all every year, all the time. I want to say thank you all, and we'll see you all soon again. Thank you. Hey, Clearwater, yay! Love you guys, bye-bye.